Page a copy of the minutes of the last regular meeting. If there's any corrections, if none, it shall stand as presented. Right now is the time we normally have set aside for any public comments. Anybody in the audience that wishes to speak to the commission, we allow you for 5 minutes to speak. Anybody have anything? Sure. Would you state your name, please, sir?
Tim Kramer with the Symetra LPGA Tour. I'm here today with Emily Childs, one of our professional athletes on our tour, and just wanted to come before the commission and thank the City of Garden City for hosting us once again this year. This will be the fourth time we've been in Garden City, and would like to especially thank the sponsors of the Symetra Tour event this week that are so important in allowing us to be here, allowing our players to chase their dream to play on the LPGA Tour. So I know the Mariah Fund is a big partner of the event. The folks at the Convention and Visitors Bureau, Sammy and his crew, as well as many others that are supporting the event this week and allowing us to be here. So on behalf of the Symetra Tour, we'd like to say thank you. Thank you for the hospitality that Garden City's extended to us, and we're looking forward to a wonderful week here with beautiful weather. So I'd like to introduce Emily Childs, again, one of our Symetra Tour players from San Francisco area, and she's going to come up and say a few words on behalf of our players.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah, I guess I was gonna just say a big thank you for having this event in Garden City. I've been here, this is my 3rd year, and I have an awesome host family. They live on Southwind, and they kind of become family to me, but we love coming here and playing Buffalo Dunes, and we go to the Thai food place in town. There's a lot of good restaurants we stick to. But yeah, so this is our 18th event on tour, and if you guys don't know much about the LPGA or the Symetra Tour, so the LPGA is the top 150 women golfers in the world. They play on the LPGA, and our tour actually is a tour right below it, so it leads, our top players actually feed into the LPGA. So it's kind of like the top 300, or 150 to 300 or 400 in the world. So they're really good golfers that are women. And so this is our 18th event on tour. We kind of travel around all of the US, and we start in Florida and move up kind of the East Coast into the Midwest and kind of all around. We even have one in California by June. But yeah, so we came from Sioux Falls last week, so playing this week in Garden City, and it's one of the really fun events. It's a big purse for us, so it's not one of the smaller ones. So these girls, you know, we're fighting to make enough money to make it on the LPGA. So there's just we're just so excited to be here. We love being here, and the course is fun. And so I just, if you guys have any questions for me, I can answer anything. Or, but yeah, just thank you very much for having us. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Thank you.
We're glad you're here.
Thank you, Tim.
I guess we're ready for,
Any other comment?
is there any other comments? I'm sorry. Otherwise, we'll close the public comment period.
Item 6A, Mayor and Commissioners, the governing body is asked to consider and allow the mayor to proclaim September 5th, 2017 as Scion Audrain Day. And Scion, if you'll join us up here, and the mayor will read the proclamation.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a quick motion to approve make a motion to approve the proclamation as presented.
Second.
1 second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. There you go. Now it's official.
This is a proclamation. Whereas to excel in any sport, you must demonstrate, in addition to natural ability and an outstanding spirit of dedication, enthusiasm, and hard work. And whereas the individual 6A golf championship was captured at Auburn Hills Municipal Golf Course, should be in Wichita, Kansas, on May the
Item B, the governing body is asked to consider and allow the mayor to proclaim September 6th as DeMarcus Elliott Day.
I make them, go ahead. Second?
A motion and a second, any discussion? If none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay.
All right, DeMarcus, would you like to join us down there?
This is another proclamation, whereas to excel in any sport, you must demonstrate, in addition to natural ability, an outstanding spirit of dedication, enthusiasm, and hard work, and whereas on May the 18th, 2017, Marcus Elliott placed third at 6A Regional Dodge Cities High School, and whereas the 6A State Shot Put Championship was captured with a victory of 52 feet 6 inches at Cessna Stadium on May the 27th, 2017. Whereas DeMarcus Elliott and his teammates represented Garden City well as they finished fourth as a team in the 6A State Track and Field Championship. And whereas DeMarcus Elliott is to be commended for his outstanding junior year. And therefore, I, Melvin Dale, Mayor of the City of Garden City, Kansas, do hereby proclaim September the 6th, 2017 as DeMarcus Elliott Day in Garden City, Kansas, in order for all citizens to acknowledge and express their pride and their accomplishments, to encourage our youth in their endeavors towards excellence in life, and show appreciation for your good sportsmanship. Signed and sealed this day, the 5th of September, 2017, Melvin Dale, Mayor of Garden City.
Mayor and Commissioners, item C, the governing body is asked to consider and allow the mayor to proclaim September 7th, 2017 as Ruben Huerta Day.
So moved.
Second.
Had a motion and a second to proclaim May 18th, 2018 as
September
September, yeah, 5th September 2017 for Ruben Huerta Day. We have a motion and a second.
I move that we allow the mayor to proclaim September 7th as Ruben Huerta Day.
We have a second.
I made the motion.
Oh, you
Commissioner
already did?
Finkhauser.
Okay.
Commissioner
Okay.
Finkhauser
We already had a
seconded.
motion and a second, so no more discussion. We'll, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay.
Proclamation, whereas to excel in any sport, you must demonstrate, in addition to natural ability and outstanding spirit of dedication, enthusiasm, and hard work. And on May the 18th, 2017, Ruben Huerta placed second at 6A Regional at Dodge City High School. And whereas the 6A State Pole Vault champion was captured with a victory of 15 feet at Cessna Stadium, May the 27th, 2017. And whereas Robert Huerta and his teammates represented Garden City well as they finished fourth as a team in 6A State Track and Field Championship. Whereas Ruben Huerta is to be commended for his outstanding junior
Item 6D, the governing body is asked to consider and authorize the possession and consumption of alcoholic liquors at Buffalo Dunes Golf Course on September 8th through 10th, 2017 for the Garden City Charity Classic Golf Tournament pursuant to Code Section 6-133.
I so moved.
Second.
We approve that.
I'll
Motion,
second.
motion and a second. Any other discussion? If none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion, and all opposed say nay. It's approved at by 5-0, for the approval for Buffalo Dunes course to serve authorizing possession of consumption of alcohol liquors at the Buffalo Dunes Golf Course on September the 8th, 2017 for the Charity Classic Golf Tournament pursuant to Code 6-133.
Item E, the governing body is asked to consider and approve a request from Angelica Castillo Chapel, president of the Community Mexican Fiesta, to waive the sign fees and to place a 4-foot by 6-foot sign at the northwest corner of Stevens Park for the 2 weeks prior to September 9th, 2017.
So moved.
A motion? Second. A motion and a second to approve a 4-by-6 sign at northwest corner of Stevens Park for 2 weeks prior to September the 9th, 2017. Any other discussion? If none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. Motion carried.
Item F, the governing body is asked to consider and approve a request from Athletic Director Drew Tone on behalf of USD 457 for approval of an aircraft landing in the corporate limits of the city on September 9th, approximately between 6:40 and 7:10 p.m. at Garden City High School pursuant to Code Section 14-71, and I believe this is on September 8th, isn't it? 8th. Yeah.
8th.
So, change what's on the agenda to the 8th and make sure the minutes reflect that.
So moved.
Second.
We've had a motion and a second to approve on behalf of the Athletic Department, USD 457, for approval of an aircraft landing in the corporate limits of the city limits on the 8th, 2017, approximately between 6:40 and 7:10 at the Garden City High School. Any other discussion? If none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay.
Item G, the governing body is asked to consider and approve a request from Vicki Harshbarger on behalf of Mosaic to allow the mayor to proclaim the week of September 10th, 2017 as Direct Support Professionals Recognition Week. I believe Vicki's here. Vicki, come on up if you've got any words.
Good afternoon. Direct Support Professionals Week is designed to highlight the hard work and dedication of all of those people, like Stephanie here, that strives to create a meaningful life for those with disabilities and special needs that require just a little bit of support to make their daily lives more enjoyable and to help them with their daily needs. At Mosaic, we serve 118 people with intellectual disabilities with 100 staff that dedicate their lives to making meaningful lives for them a possibility. And we just want to direct the attention of Garden City during next week to just highlight the hard work that they do 365 days a year throughout, year in, year out. So that's why we're here today. And this is Stephanie, and I'll let you say your full name.
My name is Stephanie Villegas.
And I didn't want to murder it. And she's been with Mosaic for 4 years, and I know that she's one of the favorite of a lot of our individuals, and we love seeing how she makes those dreams come a reality.
Well, thank you both for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thank you.
And Mayor Dale's got a proclamation.
We
I'll
have
make a motion to approve as presented the proclamation.
I'll second. We've had a motion and a second to approve the proclamation to Masonic to allow them for the week of September 10, 2017 as Direct Support Professional Recognition Week.
Yeah. If you want to join them down front.
Any other
you can.
discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed say
disabilities of all ages, and the community, and whereas the community plays a role in lifting up direct support professionals as integral in supporting the needs of people and with disabilities and their families through service systems and across the nation. And whereas the goals of the city properly give recognition to those directly helping people with disabilities gain access to housing, employment, and the recreation activities which help create productivity, satisfying lives to live independently as possible. Now therefore, I, Melvin Dale, Mayor of Garden City, do hereby proclaim the week of September the 10th, 2017 as Direct Support Professional Recognition Week in Garden City, Kansas, and call upon all the citizens to observe this week and appropriate programs and activities. Furthermore, I encourage the citizens of Garden City to seek information from those organizations with expertise in matters concerning professional who support individuals and intellectual and to develop disabilities. Sign and seal this day, 5 September 2017. Signed, Melvin Dale. Thank you for everything you do. What you do is a special thing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Item H, the governing body is asked to consider and approve a request from Eric Siena Tiempo on behalf of Appliance and Furniture Mart for a waiver to the temporary structure requirements from September 13th through October 8th at 1117 Fleming Street to hold a tent/sidewalk sale.
I had a question. It says that actually the tent will go up on the 29th of September and 4 days later come down. Is that correct?
On the application?
The
Yeah.
additional request?
No, it usually goes up a few days before the start of the event. That must be a typo. I don't know, do you happen to know for sure? No. I would say the dates of the waiver would be what would, from September 13th. What's in the request, September 13th through October 3rd is what the commission should consider for the waiver. And their event is from the 16th through the 1st.
Based on that, I'll move to approve that request.
Had a motion to approve the request. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We had a motion and a second for the Appliance Furniture Mart for a waiver to the 2007, to the temporary structure requirement for September the 13th, 2017 through October the 3rd, 2017 at 1117 Fleming Street to hold a tent sidewalk sale. We have any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Carried.
Item I, the governing body is asked to consider and allow the mayor to proclaim September 14th, 2017 as Cecil and Francis Obrate Day on the occasion of their 70th wedding anniversary. And I believe the mayor will deliver this proclamation, if approved, at their come-and-go reception on Saturday.
I'll make a motion to approve the proclamation for the Obrate family.
I'll second that. Any discussion? All in favor of approving the proclamation for the Albright family on, to be given to them on September the 14th? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay.
Item J, the governing body is asked to consider and approve a request from Paulina Marino for a waiver of the noise ordinance on September 23rd, 2017 from 8 p.m. to midnight for a quinceañera at 2404 North Main Street. I think they were advised that we could administratively approve this till 11 p.m. and they wanted it to be before the commission, right? to be able to exceed the noise ordinance until midnight.
I think the last one of these we had, didn't we cut it off at 11?
No,
it's
we cut it
midnight.
off at midnight
Midnight.
because it went till, they wanted it to go till 2 o'clock in the
2,
morning,
oh,
but
yes.
we voted till, cut it
Midnight.
off at midnight.
Is there anybody here? No one here. I think since we did the last one at that time, I think I'd go along with midnight. I would hope that they work this out with their neighbors. I'll make a motion that we approve a waiver of the noise ordinance from 8 p.m. to midnight at 2404 North Main.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any other discussion? If none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Carried.
7A, under report of the city manager, KDOT has approved our application for a geometric improvement project in the fiscal year 2020 on Kansas Avenue east of 3rd Street to west of Belmont. The item B, Fire Battalion Chief Jim Morris, I believe is here. Here, Jim?
No?
No, he's not here. Let's see, I'll kind of read the highlights. They, again this year, did the Muscular Dystrophy Association Boot Block Drive, and they were successful in receiving $4,760.21. So they wanted to express their appreciation to the community for their contributions towards muscular dystrophy. The Cox channel lineup is presented pursuant to the franchise agreement with Cox Communications. And then there's a series of staff reports. If you have any questions on those, we'd be happy to try to answer them. If there aren't any meetings of note are listed under item 8. There's a bunch. The next business item is 9A. It's the appropriation ordinance, and if approved, it would be ordinance number 2442-2017A.
I so move that we approve the appropriations ordinance 2442-2017A.
Second.
We've had a motion and a second. Any discussion? If none, all in favor of appropriation ordinance 2442-2017A, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Carried 5-0.
Item 10A, the governing body is asked to consider and approve a comprehensive plan amendment for the proposed Starbond project that may potentially be located at 900 LaRue Road. The comprehensive plan amendment for this location would change the future land use from 2 or more families to commercial residential. And if you approve, the appropriate action would be not that one. Where's the staff report for this? Oh, they're out of order. Okay. The appropriate action would be to approve ordinance number 2769-2017, which is an ordinance approving amending the future land use map of Garden City to 2020 comprehensive plan and repealing the current future land use map of the Garden City 2020 comprehensive plan. Caleb?
Yes, you have the company staff report in your packet that outlines this modification to the comprehensive plan for the potential site of the Starbond project. This went before the Planning Commission, and they reviewed this request for amendment, which would change the potential future land use map from 2 or more families to commercial residential potential. And there were 7 members present and at the time of the vote. 6 voted yea and 1 voted nay. And we have the map with the locations and the minutes also from the Planning Commission's discussion. Any questions?
I noticed it says residential and commercial. Why residential?
In the comprehensive plan, when we updated the comprehensive plan back in 2009, our future land use maps that were put together for those areas, we went with a multiple tiered potential area. And in this area, the comprehensive plan does have a potential for commercial, residential. It could go either way. When the consultants that came in and met with the Planning Commission and put that together, they felt that it gave a broader opportunity in certain areas to either go residential or commercial.
So it could be multifamily?
It could, yeah.
Okay.
Currently, that area is already, as it says, is 2 or more families is what it's designated on the comprehensive plan. So it technically already is already multifamily, but this facet of it allows it to go either way for commercial potential, which fits in with what the Planning Commission felt was the best use of the property in the future.
So in the comprehensive plan, you don't really have designations such as R1, R2, you just kind of broadly say the use.
That's correct.
So it,
And then afterwards, each individual property owner would have to come in and request a zoning that fits into those 2 categories.
So what they're really doing is just making it more flexible to meet the needs of that property
Correct.
in that area.
Yes. This is important to note that this property, if we scroll to the map, part of this area actually has had an amendment about just over a year ago, I believe, and the Planning Commission recommended to a change of that area. If you look at the highlighted blue area on the map is the area that's this comprehensive plan amendment takes in. We've already actually amended for this portion that was rezoned to commercial after a previous comprehensive plan amendment was made. And the remainder of the balance of that property is in residential zoning district right now, and still fits in with that overall master plan designation. So, and with the future potential of the STAR bond, this would meet that criteria as well.
I'd make a motion we approve ordinance 2769-2017.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve ordinance number 2769-2017, an ordinance approving amended future land use map of the Garden City, Kansas 2020 comprehensive and expanding the current future land use map of the Garden City 2020 comprehensive plan. Any other discussion? If none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Carried.
Item 10B, the governing body is asked to consider and approve an ordinance amending the General Improvements Handbook as specified in sections 78-43 and 78-77 of the code. If approved, it would be ordinance number 2770-2017, an ordinance pertaining to the use of designated public rights-of-way, amending sections 78-43 and 78-77 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Garden City, Kansas, repealing sections 78-43 and 78-77, all of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Garden City, Kansas. Caleb?
Okay. As you have in the complete staff report in your packet, this is an update to the handbook that was last done in 2006. Kind of a little bit of background on this is that the The standard plans and specifications for construction are repair of site, including repair of sidewalk, were all contained in the 2006 General Service Improvement Handbook for the city, and it was adopted in December of 2006. Throughout the years, inconsistencies between the 2006 General Service Improvement Handbook and the current regulations, including the subdivision regulations, found that there were inconsistencies between the two. And of course, with a lot of these issues that came up, the most stringent of the policies usually held in those cases. And what we've done is we've gone through that Surface Improvement Handbook, and some examples of those inconsistencies were sidewalks, which were installed at a thickness of 5 inches, while the 2006 handbook provisions had it at 4. Current practice is required to have strength of 4,000 psi for concrete, while the 2006 handbook specifications are at 3,500 psi. Current standards for trash enclosures were not included in that, and the current zoning regulations require parking stalls to be 20 by 9, while the 2006 handbook showed them at 18.5 by 9, and so forth. In your attachments in your staff report, it included an outline of some of those major changes that were between the differences between the 2006 General Surface Improvement Handbook and the handbook that's proposed for your consideration today. And with that, in late 2016, staff took on the task of amending the 2006 handbook to rectify those inconsistencies and clarify points of confusion and incorporate current practices and standards. The General Improvements Handbook, we put together a draft based on some of those items that have the inconsistencies, and we also included excavations, electrical, water, sewer, and other service infrastructure needs as well, providing some clarification and standard details to be consistent with our current regulations and practices. On July 26, 2017, staff held a public meeting with design professionals, contractors, and the public in general to discuss the handbook amendments. Over 50 design professionals and contractors were invited to this meeting via letter and email, as well as advertising in the local newspaper. Staff also received several inquiries regarding the amendments. We've taken those amendments and requests into consideration and review and amending the Surface Improvement Handbook, and that's what we have before you today. And the alternatives are would be alternative 1, approval of the proposed ordinance amending section 78-43 and 78-77. Alternative 2 would be denial of the proposed ordinance. Alternative 3 would be that everybody may make modifications to the ordinance and handbook. Staff recommends approval of the amendment as presented. Questions?
Caleb, as a process question, of the 50 invitations, did the invitation, if that particular date didn't work out, also ask or also offer for folks to contact you or your staff to schedule something?
That's correct. They could come in one-on-one and visit with us.
So how many people were at the meeting?
I believe we had about a dozen at the meeting itself, and then I think we've had 3 or 4 other individuals that came in at other times to discuss their concerns and corrections that they would like to see.
Will this be printed and given to anybody that wants a copy, or how does that work?
Yeah, that's what the purpose of it is for, is to make this available to those contractors and design professionals up front so that they can have what those general standards and specifications are.
I'd make a motion that we approve ordinance 2770-2017.
I'll second.
A motion and a second for approval of the General Improvement Handbook as specified in section 7843 and 7877 of the code. Do we have any other discussion? If none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Carried.
Item 10C, the governing body is asked to consider adopting a resolution of intent for the adoption of the Star Bond District Project Plan. If approved, it would be resolution number 2707-2017, a resolution stating the intent of the City of Garden City to consider adoption of the Sports of the World Complex Star Bond Project Plan in the Star Bond District previously established by the city, and providing for notice of a public hearing on such matters. And Caleb isn't, or I'm sorry, Steve isn't here. I'll present the background on the matter. The staff has been working with Finney County Economic Development Corporation as the interim developer on a Star Bond project. The project plan was prepared, or has been prepared, and was submitted to the Planning Commission, was approved on August 17th. The Planning Commission meeting staff report is included along with the associated land use plan amendment item. The next step in the approval process for a Star Bond project is the approval of the project plan by the governing body. Bond Counsel Mary Carson has prepared a resolution of intent for the governing body's consideration and approval. The resolution schedules a public hearing on October 17th at 1 p.m. And then following that public meeting, that public hearing, the commission would be poised to consider adopting the project plan. If the governing body approves the project plan by a 2/3 majority after the public hearing, it will then be submitted to the Kansas Department of Commerce for final approval. The Finney County Economic Development Corporation is searching for private partners and operators with the interest and willingness to proceed in this project. We hope to have those partners in place prior to the public hearing. And your choices today with respect to the resolution are pretty straightforward. You have the ability to adopt it, or the ability to not adopt it, or the ability to defer action, which would simply postpone the public hearing to a later date. Staff recommends that the governing body adopt the resolution of intent and establish the public hearing for 1 p.m. on October 17th. Now, that is our regular meeting, and that would make the public hearing start immediately after the pledge and the prayer. So we could consider moving that to 1:30. We would just need to make sure that the publication of the notice of public hearing reflected that too. So I might make the suggestion that we move that to 1:30.
I move that we approve resolution number 2707-2017, but have the public hearing at 1:30 instead of 1 o'clock.
Second.
Is there something else at the one?
I just have a question. I was at the planning commission meeting, and I don't remember, what I thought that planning commission approved was just the redesign or the approval of that area. I don't remember them approving the actual plan. And maybe I'm misunderstanding what you guys are saying, but I'm just asking for clarification.
Okay.
Yeah, what was placed before that was required by, first was the comprehensive plan amendment, which was heard, and they gave a recommendation
Right.
For amending the comprehensive plan. That took care of that. The action previous to this took care of that action. The other action, which was required by state statute, was the planning commission to consider whether a Star Bond project would fit into the comprehensive plan. And with the amendment that they made the determination that it did.
Okay.
And that action isn't necessarily necessary for further action from the governing body, because they'll be holding this public hearing to determine any further actions.
But not necessarily this specific proposed plan, but that a Star Bond like this could fit that.
Correct, that is
Okay.
correct,
All right.
yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
That was my question.
Yeah, and the language is statutory. I think your question's a good one. There's also a project description that you have to do that we did nearly three years ago, a project description where you do a paragraph description of what the project might be, and then the project plan. It ties to words that the statute resolution has a 1:30 time in it, so and the notice that gets printed in the paper, so we're good at 1:30.
Do I hear a motion?
There's already a motion by Commissioner Dahl, and I seconded
All right.
that motion.
Do we have any other discussion? Okay, we have a motion to approve Resolution 2707, a resolution stating the intent of the City of Garden City, Kansas to consider adoption of the Sports of the World Complex Star Bond Project Plan in the Star Bond District previously established by the city and providing notice of the public hearing on such matters, and will be modifying or changing the time from 1 p.m. to 1:30. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Passed.
Item 12A, the governing body is asked to consider and approve an application to distribute downtown development funds for 1005 North Main Street.
That you have in your packet. This is actually our first one for this year to distribute funds for the Downtown Development Fund. We've had a couple other applications. We have a couple other applications that are in the process of completing their paperwork. This application before you is specifically for the 1005 North Main Street. Preston Johnson has submitted an application on behalf of George and Debbie Wharton for the Downtown Development Fund for the demolition, interior remodel, and efficiency upgrades of the 1005 North Main. This is the location of an Edward Jones offices. The total cost of the renovation is estimated to be $61,907.40. The applicant has submitted all of the required information. The application submittal package has been attached for your review. The project is to include the demolition and renovation of the interior building to make the space a professional office setting. This is the third Downtown Development Fund application in 2017. The first two applicants withdrew their applications. Therefore, the Downtown Development Fund has a current balance of $250,000 of 2017 dollars. Using the scoring matrix, the project scored a total of 22 points. With 15 points, the project ranks within the 40% reimbursement level. The project is in compliance with the Downtown Master Plan and the Garden City zoning regulations. Alternatives before you are, one, the governing body may fund the award at $18,572.22, which would be the 30%. The governing body may fund the award at $24,762.96 at 40%. And the governing body may fund the award at a different amount. Or the governing body may deny the award of the Downtown Development Fund. The project's recommendation, the project scored a 40% max using the scoring matrix. However, the governing body may choose any of the listed alternatives or create a new viable option. The fiscal note stated there's $252,000 in the fund, $2,000 are carried over from last year. If this application is awarded at the scored amount, the Downtown Development Fund would be reduced to $225,237.04 for the remainder of 2017. The Downtown Development Fund is funded by the general fund. Any questions?
On their application, they have second story residential checked, but that probably is just a, that building doesn't have.
Isn't this where the
That's correct.
jewelry store was?
Yes.
Isn't that building? Yeah, it doesn't have a second story. I saw that on there.
And of course, first thing catch your eye is that's almost to Kansas Avenue, but in the past, the boundaries have been extended down to Kansas, isn't that correct?
Correct.
I'd make a motion that we just round it off to 25,000. I don't like these odd numbers. That's close to 40, a little over, but.
We have a second.
Second.
We've had a motion and a second. to approve $25,000 rounded off. Do we have any discussion?
Are we kind of setting a precedent going, I mean, we set up this matrix, we have them go through the matrix and all of this, and then, I mean, I know it's the governing body's will on it, but are we gonna set a precedent on this if we approve it?
Well, I think it's,
I mean, I
It's
understand,
close.
I understand it's close, but then, you know, you're only close in horseshoes and hand grenades type of thing. But the thing of it is are we gonna set a precedent by approving this, and then the next one will be, well, it's just rounding, but,
I think the matrix was just set up to kind of evaluate these. Doesn't mean that we have to follow it. It's a guideline.
well,
But I don't know
I mean,
whether
we've kind of made it up as we go. The first, kind of during the first funding part of it, and then we suggested and asked for a matrix to kind of give us some guidelines and stuff, again, to kind of help us, through this process. I'm just saying, we've got the matrix, it's here, at the 40% range, here's the number that is stated. If we approve this, and then it's like, are we gonna round it? Somebody will come to us, then it'll be, just for an example, it'll be like 24,300. So are we gonna round up then again? Are we gonna round down to 24,000? I mean, it becomes a rounding thing
Yeah.
for us, and then we're quivering over, just instead of saying, we'll just fund it at the 40%. Then we're starting, well, I'd rather do it at this amount instead of this amount. Then we're going back and forth, and
Well-
who's gonna do it at a higher rate or a lower rate? Well, you gave it, then I can see people coming back, well, you rounded up, and then on this project, you rounded down,
I think we started
I'm
out doing
just saying, this gives us
50,000 is kind of
Right.
the maximum we would give.
Well,
So-
but then we went back and we asked for a matrix to kind of give us some guidelines.
Yeah, I
It's fine with
understand.
me, I
I
just don't wanna
would
get us started on where we round up one time, we round down one time, and then somebody comes back and says, well, how did you figure that? Well,
I see what you're saying, but I also see what Commissioner Sessom is saying too. I kind of think if we're gonna have the matrix, let's use it.
Yeah, it's just kind of I guess you
I
can
know.
figure it, but,
well, I understand.
but it's like
Our
getting,
people
I mean, we're
understand
cutting
that.
it down to 96 cents. I mean, come on. I don't think we need to cut it quite that close, but, whatever.
Well, but it's going off the funding of what the estimated
Yeah, I know.
renovation is to the project, so they're taking that amount for the 40%. I'm just saying, are we gonna use the matrix, or are we just gonna kind of throw that to the side and go out on our own again? And
I'll call the question, and if we need a motion, we can have one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we've had a motion then and discussion. I guess no more discussion, we just go, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay.
Nay.
Go back to the,
2 to 3?
Yeah.
No, you were no.
2 yeas, 3 nays.
So we're back, who would like to make a motion to?
I'll make a motion that we approve the funding award at $24,762.96 at the 40% range, reimbursement level.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the award level at $24,762.96 out of the Downtown Development Fund for 2017 for upgrades at Edward Jones. Total cost of the renovation is $61,907. Do we have any discussion on that? If none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Nay.
Item 12B, the governing body is asked to consider and approve the Garden City Police Department's request to submit a grant application for 10 portable radios for the fiscal year 2017 Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant Program And there's a pretty short turnaround on this. If the commission approves this application, we will submit it before its deadline at the end of the day. Chief, do you have anything else to present?
No, other than, in our budget this year, we were authorized to purchase 4 radios. Next year, we're authorized to purchase another 4. The current portable radios we have been we purchased back in 2009. And they've already been, when we purchased them in 2009, they were already several years being used, and they quit making the models we're utilizing, and parts are not going to be available after 2018. So we're looking at moving forward. This grant is 100% funded and no match required.
Can't beat it.
I move that we approve the Garden City Police Department's request to submit a grant application for the fiscal year 2017 Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistant Grant Program.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Carried.
Item D, we don't anticipate any action following that executive session, so, oh, we still need to do C. C.
Planning Commission.
12 people listening. Sounds like snakes.
You hear this hiss.
12C, the governing body is asked to consider and appoint a new member to the Planning Commission. Caleb.
Right, you have the staff report in your packet. The list is, it's kind of good news, Dave. This is last couple times we haven't had very many people with names to present to you for individuals interested in serving on the Planning Commission. Brian Swint has tendered his resignation to the from the Planning Commission, and his appointment as city representative was for a 3-year term set to expire on December 31st of 2018. The following citizens have expressed interest in serving on the Planning Commission, and their applications are attached. You have Gina Enlicker, Valerie Hess, Clayton Halou, Blair Loving, and Clemencia Zermano. And I apologize if I did not pronounce anyone's names correctly.
You did great.
But its alternatives are to fill the appointment with one of the candidates listed above, or find an alternative candidates to fill the position. Staff recommends alternative 1, which is fill the appointment with one of the candidates listed above.
I'd like to make a motion to approve Gina Hanlicker.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion on filling that position with Gina? If none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Gina Hanlicker is a new Planning Commission member.
We're going to skip over item D and go on to the consent agenda for approval consideration. You have 8 items there. They can all be taken together.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda E1 through 8.
Got a motion and a second for consent,
Sorry.
or,
Did somebody second?
no, we had, no.
I'll second.
Okay, we had a motion and a second. For the consent agenda, approval consideration of F1 through 8.
E1 through 8. E.
Okay, one says F. Okay, E1 through 8. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. My whole thing is off.
You're off.
I know.
You need to get the
I
latest.
printed it this morning.
Mayor, there's no need for an executive session at this meeting, so I think that concludes the business items for today, and we're ready for commission comments.
I guess I'm first.
Unless Roy wants to go.
I think, I think we should commend the mayor on all the proclamations. I think we set a record today for proclamations. Enjoyed the information session out at Buffalo Dunes on the Symmetric tournament, and I got a lot of information I didn't know. It's amazing how much planning has to go into that most people don't know. Also, I noticed sales tax was way up this month for some reason, but down last month, up this month. It's crazy, but
The only thing I
anyway,
can think of is there was more stuff sold.
must be. It's amazing,
All
but
that fall
it's
decoration.
Yeah.
must be. It's 2 months behind though. Those figures.
Yeah.
They're 2
Oh.
months behind.
They
so-
bought it early this
yeah,
year.
they bought it early. But anyway. Doesn't make sense, but I'm happy for it, and other than congratulating all our athletes and all those that got proclamations, it's amazing. We've got some outstanding athletes in this community, so appreciate that. That's all.
Commissioner Cessna?
I'd also like to say it was a good pre-meeting about the Symetra Tour that's being held this week. You know, we have 150 professional athletes here in our community participating. You know, a lot of them have come back to the community and really like coming into Garden City. The ones that we've talked to, they think Garden City is kind of home to them, and especially the people that they're staying with. You know, it's kind of like what Emily said, it's kind of like coming back to family, so it kind of makes Garden City a nice place. It also puts us on the map as well, but I agree with Commissioner Fankhauser. You know, it takes a lot of planning to put on this type of a tournament. I know that they're looking for volunteers and also people for to help the committee. If you would like to help or have any recommendations, Jennifer would be probably your best person to contact on that. So, right?
The tournament director.
Yeah, the tournament director. Yeah, there you go. I too, you know, it's great to see all of the student athletes and their accomplishments. It's great to highlight their success in the community and what they have accomplished, and hopefully to see great things this school year as well on what they can achieve. Sales tax presentations are going well. Any group out in the community would like to have us come present about the upcoming sales tax ballot question, either talk to myself, the mayor, I see Chairman Pishney out in the audience, talk to him, or contact city staff, and we can set that up and come present on that ballot issue. But getting that information out is important, and it's one of the many important issues that'll be on the November 7th ballot. So that's all I've got.
Commissioner Dole?
Well, the pre-meeting this morning was great concerning the Symetra Tour, and I'd like to commend the staff and the committee and the volunteers in this community that helped make this happen. Without all that work and all the volunteer hours, those kind of events wouldn't happen, and so they're very much appreciated. And I'd also like to commend the athletes who had proclamations for them today. They're outstanding youth, and very happy for them and their accomplishments.
Commissioner Law?
Well, not a lot you can add to all that. The proclamations of such a range, of athletes and people that are helping people in need in the community live a better life, and then people that have been married for 70 years, all amazing accomplishments.
In
So,
one day, yeah.
and there was more than normal, but in one meeting maybe, but rarely a meeting without something worth commending in this community, and so that's a great thing. So I would also echo, I think Steve O'Brate this morning said you just can't believe the amount of small detail stuff it takes to do anything really. The Symetra Tour, the golf tournament is no different than a lot of other things we have done or do. But so those people that are doing it are really working their tails off. So if you have the opportunity to help out, volunteering or donating or doing whatever, then it would be much appreciated, because I don't think people also probably appreciate the impact that that has on our community, like a lot of other things do. But this is a big one, so we're glad to have it, and hopefully we can talk them into staying a few more years after next year. So that's all I have.
Okay, I agree that there is a lot of detail in putting those things together, and obviously they must have a tremendous group of people that sit around and brainstorm this. I mean, can you imagine, somebody even had to figure out, do we have enough toilet paper? Now, we can laugh about that, but you know, if you don't have it when you start, you may be in trouble. So I mean, those are small details, but they are important.
We put Randy on that.
Falls within my expertise.
Yeah, but it was a great, pre-meeting out there today, and a lot of information was shown, and we in Garden City should be very happy that that tournament is here. It's something that's been every 3 years, and if we could keep it even longer, it can't do anything but help improve the image of Garden City and its people, and we have some great people in this community. We did have a lot of proclamations today, and like Commissioner Law said, they just range from athletes all the way down to someone celebrating his 70th wedding anniversary, and that itself is
Not too many of us can
not
say
too
that.
many, no. So that was a great thing. Again, what my Commissioner Cessna said, that you know, if you need to have some more information, I'd like to come and talk to you about the November 7th tax. We'd be glad to come out and educate you as much as we possibly can on the information we had. One other thing, Ruben. And the guy throwing the shot put, I can see him doing 56 feet. This guy, you know, I'm 5'9", and he's under me. You don't realize how
15
much
feet.
strength he has to have in his legs to run that fast, and how much arm strength he has to have with speed and arm strength to pull himself up and clear 15 feet.
No, I don't.
He's more on a shot put.
I'm not putting you down, Matt. You got a ways to
I
go.
was trying to get over the top edge of my bed every day.
Why was he looking at you?
Anyway,
You could do the shot put, right?
if we don't
Better
have
chance of beating DeMarcus.
anything else before the commission today, then I'm going to close this meeting.
Thank you.